guys, and welcome to today's video. Now, as you can probably guess, I'm back up the Mournes, and I've actually come around to the opposite side from where I was shooting from in my last video. And firstly, actually just to say a massive thanks to everyone who has commented and has kind of given their feedback about the idea of doing projects. And it's quite exciting to hear that a lot of you guys are actually doing something similar. So it's been an encouragement to me to kind of stick at it. And the reason I've actually come up here today is to continue that project and to try and nail a couple more panels for it. So as I say, I've come round to the opposite side of Burna. On the last video I was shooting from the western side. Today I'm actually on the eastern side, and I've got two shots in mind, two panels. And the first one is shooting back up the ridge line here towards Comedy, and I actually think it's quite, it reminds me of something you would see in the Lake District, because the line of the Mourne wall, it kind of goes up and goes down and curves round, and I don't know, there's just something, almost looks like one of the fells that you would see. It's that kind of picturesque old stone wall kind of twisting through the landscape. So that's the first shot, and it is going to be, it's all about side light for it. So the sun's still quite harsh at the minute, so I'm kind of letting it just get a little bit lower in the sky. But the light at the minute is lovely, but I'd like it just to be a little bit softer. So that's the first shot. The second shot then is actually back towards Slieve Burna, and it's going to be a bit more tricky because I'm going to be shooting straight into the sun. So the idea behind it is possibly to either get a nice sunset image of a nice colourful sky, or hopefully to get a nice sun flare as the sun kind of approaches those rugged tors on the top of Burna. So yeah, that's the plan. That's the ideal tick list for today's video. But thankfully there's actually a lot more cloud than was forecast, because I was a little bit worried I was going to get up here and it was just going to be completely blue sky. But it conditions look pretty good. So we've probably about an hour and a half to go before sunset. So I will talk you through this first composition that I have already set up here. So unfortunately at the minute, you can probably see the furthest peak there. Comedy has actually gone into the cloud, but you can kind of see what I was talking about, this beautiful sweep of the wall up through. Now I'm shooting this in the panel, I'm not going extra wide on this. With the landscape orientation, I actually think a 16:9 crop was going to look quite well. So just to give me that little bit more resolution, I'm shooting it as a portrait style panel. So I'm zoomed in to about 75mm here roughly, and I'm just going to spin it around and probably take about 3 different shots, and then just crop in that 16:9 kind of format, something like that roughly. I think will work quite well. But the light here, as you can see, is really beautiful. It's really patchy, and it's given lots of definition to the cliff face away in the distance. I just need to wait now until that furthest peak comes out of the cloud, and then hopefully we'll get the first shot in the bag. I don't even know if you can hear me or not. I just come back round. This is the view that I wanted to shoot at sunset, and I'm shooting into the wind and shooting into the sun, which is proving to be quite difficult, to be honest. And again, the peaks that we're wanting to shoot, so Comedy is still on the cloud over that way, and as you can see behind me, Burna is the big one there. It's in the Clyde. Clyde just seems to be hanging on those couple of peaks, which is a bit frustrating because that's where I was hoping that the sun was going to come down. The only good thing is the clouds are moving very, very fast, so who knows. The light is absolutely spectacular here. Everywhere we look there's pockets of this beautiful light, but unfortunately it's just not in the right place for my compositions. This is one of those times now where I'm wondering, did I plan this shoot completely wrong? Would I have been better coming in the morning when the sun would be technically over that way and maybe coming in from the side? Don't know. But one thing for sure, I can't give up yet because conditions can change so quickly in the mountains, so quickly. Okay, so I've come over just into the wall here to try and get a little bit of shelter because I was getting absolutely froze out there and battered just facing into the wind. It was pretty horrible. So I've just been keeping an eye on the first composition that I showed you, and I have a feeling that it's looking like the summit of Comada might be clearing slightly, so I might just walk back over and have a look at that composition again. This one here, I think this one needs about another hour. I think I'm going to have to wait on the sun almost getting to where it's hitting the tors for it to work, because it's just it just doesn't sit well. There's a big massive white patch, really super bright patch in the middle, and I've been bracketing exposures, but it just your eye just gets pulled towards it. So I'm not really sure that I'm happy with just how that's sitting at the minute, so I'm gonna have to just let things let the sun get a little bit lower in the sky and hopefully let the light get a little bit better. So it's just so frustrating, and I'm still doubting myself as to whether I've made a massive mistake coming to this side and shooting into the sun as the shot that I'm looking for, because normally, you know, I like to try and shoot with the sun and shoot with it at an angle. So we'll see. I don't want it to turn into one of those vlogs where I'm just complaining the whole time, but I kind of feel I have to be honest about it, and possibly I may have made a mistake today. Time will tell. Yeah, so this is becoming one of those really frustrating videos. Just none of the peaks seem to be wanting to come out of the cloud, and the light is just spectacular over here. And what I'm thinking, I'm just going to have to completely rethink my composition and rethink everything, because if I don't do that, I'm not going to have anything. I'm not going to have a shot. The light is getting lovely and golden now, but I want to shoot that way. The peak, the focal point, is in the cloud, and if I want to shoot back behind me here, Burna is in the cloud as well. So yeah, I've got a decision to make. I'm just concerned that shooting down the middle where the light is nice, I don't know if it's interesting enough. I don't know if the shapes of the mountains, I don't know if just everything comes together, if it's an interesting enough photo. But unfortunately, I think that is the only choice I have. Okay, so I almost feel this could be game on here now. So I was shooting at a 16:9 ratio there, just to envisage what I was going to shoot the pano at. So I'm actually going to turn this on to the portrait setting. So I'm going to go in probably about 80mm or so. And really, as I say, the only reason I'm doing this is just to give me just that little bit more resolution once I start to crop this. So the top of Cometa has again gone into it's gone into shade. It's in the cloud, and the light everywhere else is amazing. So again, I've actually gone into about 90mm here, and I'm focusing, setting my focus back across onto manual, and I'll probably take 1, 2, 3 shots. I've kept the polarizer on this. Now I wouldn't normally do that if there's so much blue sky, because I'm getting a bit of an uneven colour gradation of the blue as I'm moving across the sky, but it is making such a difference to the foreground. So I think the shot, once it's actually cropped, there's not actually going to be an awful lot of blue sky visible, so I'm not overly worried about that. So I'm just going to grab this 2-second delay. That's one, overlapping them about 30%. That's the second. Go 3, we'll go 4. Still keeping an eye behind, because that's an epic shot that I want to get that way there, so I'm not giving up on it just yet. The light now is starting to get really, really, really nice. Okay, so pretty happy with that. Hopefully it will turn out okay. The light is amazing. Not sure how it's going to look with the top of the peaks. Whether once I get it back I can actually see them enough. I still think they are in a fair wee bit of cloud there, but hopefully the light that's coming across the landscape is going to make up for that. So yeah, I think I'm going to now go back over and try and... Actually, there's one more shot I'm just going to quickly do while the summit tower is completely visible. That's lovely. I just hope I can get right the way across here before the cloud moves over it again. So I think I've royally screwed this one up, to be honest. I don't think this is going to work. Light is still quite nice over that way, beautiful colour catching the sky, but I just don't like the shot. I just don't like the composition that way. So yeah, I think this has been a bit of a, I don't say a waste of time, but I've definitely made a bit of a hash of this one, I think, today. Possibly this was a location to shoot in the morning and not in the evening, but you live and learn. So I think I'm going to call the video quits there, because I think that's pretty much me done. But as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm sorry that I'm ending this one a little bit abruptly, but yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And that was not the end, because it seems with landscape photography, the light can sometimes come out just for a few more seconds.